Hello NYO-U, my name is Myles Bell and I'm a violinist from Pennsylvania. This summer, I'll be participating in my first season of NYO-2 in their third season on their trip to Miami, performing with Gil Shaham and New World Symphony Fellows. I am very excited for NYO-2 2018 and the performance at Carnegie Hall and the performance at 583 Park Avenue in New York City. A fun fact about myself is that when I'm not listening to classical music, I listen to jazz and swing artists such as Louis Armstrong and Frank Sinatra. These artists always put me in a positive mood and encourage me to make great music. Today, I am excited to share with you some tips that helped me become the musician that I am today. In this video, I'll be discussing tips on how to approach Baroque music. Hopefully, these tips can shed light on music by composers like Bach and Vivaldi. As violinists know, Bach's 6 sonatas and partitas for solo violin are a staple in the violin repertoire. When I first approached a solo Bach piece, my teacher told me to think freely and play lightly. I then realized that Baroque music had to be played with a different kind of passion than, say, Brahms or Tchaikovsky. After a time of listening and learning, I think I have 3 tips that can help you approach Baroque music in a new way. Tip number 1, terrace dynamics. Like in any time period, dynamics are what make a piece of music interesting and exciting. However, dynamics are especially important in Baroque music because of the way that they are used. Instead of crescendoing and decrescendoing, try making jumps between piano and forte. This will make your sound more appropriate to the time period because at the time, the harpsichord, the main keyboard instrument, could only play these dynamics, piano and forte. That way, your sound will be more accurate to the time period. Use crescendos and decrescendos rarely, only through held notes. Tip number 2, listen to a recording you like. Listening to a recording you like is especially important in Baroque music. Just from listening, you can figure out the style of the piece and how you want to play it. If you don't listen, you may end up playing Bach like Tchaikovsky. As you saw in that clip, I clearly did not listen to that piece. When listening, try listening for articulations or liberties that the musician took that aren't written that you may want to incorporate into your own playing. For example, when I listened to Hilary Hahn's recording of Bach's first sonata, I listened to how she plays her chords and how she uses dynamics to further develop my style in playing the piece. After listening, you will have ideas on how to interpret the piece and what type of sound you want to emit from your instrument. Listening to recordings is something that can be applied to all genres of classical music, and it's a good way to immerse yourself into a piece that you're learning. Finally, tip number 3, use less vibrato. The technique of vibrato was mostly popular in classical periods of music and on through to romantic era of music and the modern era of music. So to really make your sound authentic to the time period, you want to use less vibrato. Let your sound ring and reverberate instead of using vibrato to cloud it up. If it's a held note, try to crescendo and decrescendo throughout the note instead of using vibrato. Basso continuo, the orchestra accompaniment of Baroque music, consisted of strings and a harpsichord. In the Baroque period, basso continuo is the accompaniment that includes a bass line and harmonies. Fugue, the compositional technique of taking a phrase or a melody and distributing it across a multitude of voices or instruments. Suite, a collection of dances played by a solo instrument or an orchestra. And finally, BWV, the abbreviation of the catalog system used to classify Bach's works in chronological order. Let's review. First, remember to use terrace dynamics. Second, listen to a recording you like so you can get ideas on interpretation and style. Finally, use less vibrato and don't try to over-romanticize your music. Thank you so much for watching this NYO-U mini masterclass on how to approach Baroque music. Once again, I'm Myles Bell, and happy practicing!